Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the grip, and in fact, actually what I've started to do, or I'm going to start doing, I should say, on the channel, is creating weekly playlists so that we stay on the same theme. Now this week, makes sense to start from the beginning and to talk about grip, but rather than just telling you how to hold the golf club, which we will discuss just in case you guys have any questions, we're really going to prioritize the functionality and the need of the grip. So, what are we trying to do? Lead hand is all about taking control of the golf club in the fingers, sitting the heel pad on top of the club, and this gives you the ability to create what's known as a cocking motion like so. This is where most of your energy and power is stored in the golf swing, so you need to make sure that you can do this. You need to make sure that when you hold the golf club, you can keep your lead arm out in front of you and you can comfortably cock the club up. Otherwise, you're going to struggle for power. Now, trail hand is really a supporting feature in the golf swing. So what we're going to be doing is, what you want to be doing is getting a feeling that your right palm, for a right-handed golfer, so your trail palm, is applying a pressure onto your lead thumb. Okay, and that's helping you really, should we say, get more of a feeling that you're sort of pushing the club through in towards that sort of hitting area. But it also helps you maintain width in the backswing. So you want to make sure that when you're placing your trail hand on the golf club, it very much features as a support to the side of the club, isn't sitting too much on top. Now, how much is too much to the side? I would say that the thumb is a good indication. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to get that trail thumb sitting too much to the trail side. So for my right thumb sitting too much to the right side of the handle. Because then what starts to happen is it can close the club face, because opposable thumbs are very strong. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be talking about the pressure in the trail hand, and I've got a really good exercise and drill to help you get a feeling of how to do this correctly. So once we know that this hand is a support, okay, in the golf swing, then that's its role, and we've given it that role. Now what we need to do is teach it how to do that role. Okay, so what I want you to do as your sort of exercise is I want you to place your grip on the club, okay, as you normally would. And then what I want you to try and do is I want you to just separate the fingers. See the way that I'm just straightening all the fingers on my trail hand, and all I'm doing therefore now is I'm just rehooking the index finger, yeah, so my forefinger here, in and around the club shaft again. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my thumb down the lead side of the handle. So all of a sudden now I've taken away these three fingers here, and I can just get a sense of pressure created between the palm on my trail hand and a, should we say, sort of squeezing sensation between the thumb and the forefinger. Okay, so once we've got that, then what I want you to do is just do some practice swings where you do some short swings, okay, and I want you to keep applying that pressure as you swing through. See here, it's exactly the same amount of pressure, instead of if I get a little bit too slow. So if I don't really push this club through, I start slowing down. Golfers that get a little bit here, you'll start to notice the way that your palm is no longer in contact with that thumb when you're swinging through. And this is a really important exercise to give you a feeling of a really good sort of, should we say, hitting action in the golf swing, where what's happening here is that I'm having to function very well to be able to keep this relationship as I'm swinging through. And let's just talk about the most important thing, and it's the thing that what we tend to find is that the higher handicap golfer can't do, is that when they get set up to the golf ball, they aim in the direction where they want to go, but when they hit the ball, the handle is often delivered behind the club head instead of in front of the club head. And again, this is very much a function of the trail hand pushing the club through And that's why this exercise is a real good one. And it's something that I would strongly suggest that you guys do as well. And it's strongly something that I suggest a lot of the online students that I work with also are going to experiment with a little bit this week. And what I want you to do is I want you to get involved. And I want you to get involved by, you can send it into Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, do whatever you can. But this week, what I want you to do is go to your local driving range, go out in towards the garden, wherever it is, and I want you to have a go at doing the drills, because I know what happens. Lots of you watch it and you go, yeah, that sounds great, and you don't do it. And I don't want that anymore. So I want you to go in the garden, even if you've only got a few yards. I want you to go in the garden, put your hands on the golf club, separate the fingers off, re-establish thumb pressure and forefinger pressure, and then just do some short swings, even if it's just like a short, what would feel like quite a pitching action, and you'll see this relationship here. And for those of you that can go and hit golf balls down the driving range, or wherever you might have a bit more space, then fantastic. Then you can head down and you can do exactly the same exercise, but you can just swing it that little bit longer. And once you start doing a few of those short actions, then you can start incorporating that same hitting feeling in towards your full swing as well. And even when you next go and play golf, you can actually just switch a little bit of consciousness in towards that relationship, and that would really answer a few questions about grip pressure. That's what you want to feel. This relationship right here is exactly what you want to feel, and that's a key thing. So get involved. Right, let's get you guys involved. Let's get people practicing with a little bit more sort of purpose. Everybody needs that little bit of help coming in towards that impact. So send those in. What I have got coming up next for you on Thursday, so that'll be the next video that's published, those of you that aren't watching this at the time it's been released, is I've got a great training aid. So a training aid, it's something which I would strongly suggest that you consider, especially if you're trying to improve your impact area, because it is a training aid which makes you deliver a much better impact position. And that training aid is going to talk very much about the relationship of this hand and the relationship of the lead hand as well. So make sure, if you haven't already done so, you subscribe. But remember, if you subscribe, it's no good. You've got to press the little bell icon, because otherwise you won't receive notifications every time a new video comes out. And if you miss one of the video series, then it might just seem a little bit more confusing in terms of what we're talking about. Anyway, go and practice this drill, and I'll catch up with you guys again really soon.